Hello there guys, and welcome to Team Clueless Games. Today I'm just going to have a quick look at the Resident Evil 2 board game before I get into the grips of the first mission on the campaign. I've got this box to go through and also this box. Obviously, I said in the intro video when I said about the games, when this game got delivered to me there was 14 boxes, but most of it was packaging, and I've been able to get all of the expansion and everything down into these two boxes. But let's see what's in the first box to start with. Let's get this opened up for you. Right, first couple of bits. Couple of campaign trackers. So this is basically, I can follow the characters, what ammo they've got, their health track and item cards that they have in between missions. I've got a couple of them printed off. There is lots of rule books. I shall go through some of these. This is what I've made up, a list of all the scenarios that there is to play, and also what expansions booklets I might need for rules and stuff. So let's have a quick flick through. Which one's the proper rule book? This one. Here is the Resident Evil rule book. Obviously in the game there are 4 miniatures characters you get to start with: Leon, Claire, Ada Wong, and Robert Kendo. I am probably going to be playing with Leon and Claire. Obviously, there's lots of cards and everything, and the rules. I'll go through the rules as I'm playing each of the games, but the rule book's set out quite nicely. It's a very easy rule book to play and follow. And at the back of this one, if I can find it, there is Scenario 1. Get into the police department. So that is a map of the first mission that I will be playing, but I will go into more details in that. Obviously, as I say, there is quite a few other bits. This is after that first mission. You move on to this. This is a scenario book for obviously the main game, going through lots of missions through there. With the expansions, you've got certain things where this one, Murder from Above. This introduces the Great Moth that was in Resident Evil 2, and this explains how you get it into the game, which mission the moth is in, and adding the extra cards in, and that's what you get with quite a lot of the rule book. So obviously, the malfunction of the G, they're basically in here. With this expansion was literally 2 miniatures. Oh, I shall get that one better for you. Couple of miniatures, couple of cards, new tiles. And obviously just scenario bits. And same with this one, it added an end to the nightmare, a proper end scenario as well. And this one added just a couple of miniatures in. Same as there was the giant alligator, which was a separate expansion. You get obviously more missions. There was, this one is probably the bit I won't do. The 4th Survivor expansion. It was kind of a see how long you can survive your mission. You've only got whatever ammo you have, and then that was it. If you run out of ammo, you're left to a knife. Excuse me. I believe it's this. Yeah, it's this one. This one, the Survival Horror expansion booklet. This one come with new characters and bits that you could play as, and there was for the campaign mode, there's basically how you unlock the new characters. So during the campaign, I could change the characters over if I meet a certain criteria. Like there's an advanced Leon and an advanced Claire. Advanced Claire I might be able to get after the end of the first scenario, and there's a couple of new weapons, and explains there was a couple of new bad guys as well, how you can get them in, and a PvP. That's all the rule books. Quick look at them. And then we've got underneath this bit in this box, we have got mostly the tiles and everything. Couple of that's the malfunction of G. As I say, haven't painted I've started painting some miniatures for this game. The giant alligator. I will probably try and get them painted up as I'm going there, as I'm going to be playing the scenario. This is just your character board, so you can have your character on there, and I say your health tracker for throughout the game. There is 4 of them in here. Your dice, obviously. couple of each of them. Your ammunition token, so it tells you what ammo you got. A couple of these are for some of the cards give a certain effect, so that just reminds you of the effect. And other little tokens and stuff. That's to represent on the board where items and that are. The only problem I find with this game is a lot of the tiles when playing, obviously not so much there like you can see on the camera, but the squares are quite dark. So when you put it on, there's not a massive amount of details that you can see sometimes in all the squares. So if you had it like that, that's like obviously long corridor and stuff. So that was my only disappointment for the game, but they have fixed it. They've done a Resident Evil 3 board game, which is, it's finished, the Kickstarter finished quite some time ago, and I have backed it, so I will have Resident Evil 3 to play as well at some point, hopefully by the end of next year. In there, because I'm a backer of Resident Evil 2, they are going to be sending me a free tile pack, which is a load of tiles which can be used in Resident Evil 3 or in Resident Evil 2, but they're a lot brighter and there's more details on them, so they have fixed it. I've just got to wait for them to come through, because if I show you one of these, that is the staircases, so obviously for going up and down floors. As I say, very dark. When they're on the board, it's very hard to see. And the other ones I'm not particularly keen on, but I wasn't sure. Unless you do a 3D print of them. These, obviously black sticks, the long ones and short ones, these are walls. Obviously, when you build the map up and that, some of the rooms have got a wall in them. You have to put that on. So basically just to say, there's the wall. You can't obviously go through it. You have to go round it. But that is pretty much all that is in that box. Obviously, lots of tiles. I'd say it's only just a quick look through some of these bits and pieces. So let's shift this one out of the way, because the other box, let's bring it back into the camera. Da, da, da. This one has a lot more miniatures in. Obviously, as you can see, I like using the really useful boxes for a lot of my miniatures and splitting them up and cards. Right, let's get some of these out. There's some more bosses. Obviously, we'll need painting up. Different versions of the mouth of G and that. Right. One of the add-ons was 3D prints. Obviously, in the game, it came with little tokens for your doors to say whether the doors were open or shut. They were really dark and not very good. And I like the idea of having 3D scenery and stuff. And obviously, the doors do open and close. So, obviously, as an action in the game, you get to open the door, leave it open, and shut it. I will attempt to get some of these painted up as well at the game. Other bits you can get in the game. Typewriters. Obviously, those of you who have played if you played the old Resident Evil board games and that, the typewriters was where you got to save your game. What they've done here in this, they've put the typewriters in where you can use ink ribbons to reset the tension deck. The tension deck is your timer for the game, basically. After each of your turns, you draw a card from the tension deck. It could be all clear, nothing happens, or it could be an effect of more zombies spawning, or zombie dogs, or just something bad happening to you. There's also in here item boxes. I will attempt to get these painted up as well, as I will attempt to get everything painted up. The item boxes are used basically if you're a character, you've got an item you want to give someone else. You're not going to be seeing them anytime soon to trade. You can put it in the item box, carry on doing what you need to do for the mission, and the other player can come up to the box and get whatever you left behind for them. Right, let's go through some of the cards. Right, let's have a quick look. So these are obviously some of the weapons. Let's find your handgun that you start with. This basically obviously gives you your loadout, what you need. Obviously to shoot you need LOS, line of sight. You get to roll 1 blue dice, and it tells you if you roll this symbol or on the 1 hit basically on dice, you push the enemy back. If you roll two hits, you deal 1 damage. The little symbol down there basically means you get to do rapid fire. So you could roll 3 dice and you use up 3 bullets in your handgun in 1 shot. But obviously you're more likely to at least wound the enemy or do something. There's lots of obviously equipment, handgun bullets. the keys and things that you'll find. You've got your herbs in here. You've got your green herb, first aid spray, red herbs and stuff. But obviously, I don't want to go through too much of the cards. I play each scenario, I will go through bits and pieces. Right, let's have a quick look at some of these. So this is not that fun. This is basically your tension card deck. So you'll get told in the scenario how many of each card you put in. So all clear, that's the good one. It means nothing has happened. You get quite a few, obviously you get a fair few of these in the game, but as it goes on, you'll get asked to put in yellow amber cards, which aren't as bad. This one, Penhensive Grasp. When basically you draw this card and you think, then you put this token next to your character. At the start of your activation, you have to make a dodge roll, or you lose all your actions. So there's a chance you could lose a turn. So it's not the worst. Obviously, the worst ones are these ones, the red ones. They usually have the big symbol on. So like this one, Undead Ambush. Spawn 2 zombies on the same tile as the active character. On the chosen, there's spawn basically on spawn markers for them. So the red ones are the bad ones, or the worst ones to draw. These are obviously the two characters which I've said I'm going to play as, Leon and Claire. These are very easy. Well, the layout for these, you get how many dice you get to roll if you want to dodge something. That is how many items you can carry. That's obviously ammo, green herbs and everything as well. It gives you what weapons you're proficient in. So Leon obviously is proficient in the handgun, the shotgun, and I can't remember the name of that pistol. They get an ability. So Leon's is once per activation. He may use an item whilst one or more enemies on a square. So if you've got enemies on your square, you're not allowed to use like a first aid spray to heal yourself up. You have to be on a blank square. But obviously Leon is, I can heal myself while I'm surrounded by 3 zombies, not a problem. And Claire, see the one I'm going to be starting with, she's obviously proficient in handgun. She gets to use the bow gun and a grenade launcher. And her special action is once a scenario, Claire may spend an action to heal another character on the same tile by 2 levels. So she can literally just do an instant heal once per scenario, which is very useful. And let's find one of the zombies. Just have a quick look at the zombie card. So the zombie card, they can deal, that's basically damage and that they deal. They have a special ability. They only have 1 health, obviously. And that's obviously a quick look at the zombie. I can't remember all the details, but as I say, I will go through it when I start the first scenario as to what each of the things are going to be doing. That's a quick look at some of the cards. Let's just put these back in here. I'll put those, move this box out of the way. Then we come on to, we shall do this box. This box in here, this is all the characters. As you see, they're not painted. These couple of red ones, these are some zombie characters. One is Zombie Brad, one is Zombie, I can't remember the name of the other character, but they appear in the game, potentially appear in the game, and if you interact with them, you could probably get the actual character of them. Obviously, there's a couple of different versions of Claire, which you got, bow gun, with a Colt, you got Leon. I don't know if I'll get the characters actually painted up before I start the game, because I've been painting some of the zombies and the enemies that I'm going to be fighting, because they are a bit quicker and easier to paint. So I will get round to painting the characters that I'm playing as, but probably not for the first couple of scenarios. Go through this box here. I said it's a giant moth. Obviously, it's not that giant, but that is the moth boss monster that can come in one of the expansion scenario. These are more, there's lots of these, more scenery bits. These are basically corpses. There was corpse tokens in the boxes, but not very good. If you're on a tile with these, there's a chance that they could get up. And obviously, there's some crawling zombies that need painting. There's zombie dogs. The zombie dogs are probably the things I'm going to be going on to next. And I've gone along with the moth expansion, you've got some crows as well, which obviously eating away at a corpse, some zombie crows, which you're going to go through. So that's some of them. As I say, the dogs I want to get painted up next, along with the next thing I'm going to start painting is some of the lickers. Obviously, these are obviously the lickers. They're in the game, then they're quite tough bad guys, and you start to see some of these quite early on. I believe it's in the second scenario you see your first sort of licker come along. So I want to try and get some of them painted up. Other bad guys you've got in the game, you've got some ivies, which are basically plant-like monsters. You've got poison ivies as well. I haven't played against these in the game, so it'd be interesting to, I don't quite know what they do, but when I come up to scenario, they'll be good. We've got giant spiders as well. Again, as I say, when I get to the scenarios that I'll be using these, that's when I'll be obviously painting them up. So you get a couple of giant spiders. That one is going to be the first boss that I'll be facing. I don't face him till scenario 5, I believe, is the first. So the fifth mission is when I get to face the first boss. So I'll have a few missions to do before he has to be painted. And then the last box that I've got is a box full of zombies, where not all of them are painted, but I have got quite a few that I've painted up, which I'm quite pleased with. Let's see if I can get some of these in here. Obviously, I've done okay jobs on them. They're not too bad. I've been trying to just paint them, and I've done them fairly quickly. So it's just a couple of sort of base coats and a wash really over these. Obviously, I haven't painted up all the zombies, but I've tried painting up a few different types. So that one really just isn't wearing any clothes. It's pretty much all this clothing that have come off of it, skin and bones and stuff. That one there is still in a jacket, and he's got a few wounds on his belly and that, and open up a few blood splatter marks and that on him. Obviously, yeah, like I said, there's a few other zombies to paint. I haven't really started on any of the policeman zombies and stuff, but I have enough zombies painted really to start the game. So that's why I'm going to work on the dogs and lickers and obviously my 2 characters to paint. But that is basically a quick look at just what is in the box for the game. When obviously, like I said, when I play scenario 1, I will explain the scenario, what's going on, the story behind it, and I will go through more of the rules and what I'm doing as I'm going through, just to explain to you rules and that. And if any of you have played the game when I am playing it and I forget any rules or miss rules, feel free obviously to correct me. But I hope you see what's in the box and look forward to me playing the game. Please subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about the channel, and comment below and what you think of, if you've got any opinions about the game and whether you're looking forward to me playing it or not. All right, I shall see you all again soon. Bye.